taught at the law faculties? They give the students the basic foundation of the law, theoretical. What is taught at the law school are professional courses. So most of the courses there are practical. Therefore, if the law faculties have the capacity to run those courses with the oversight responsibility of the General Legal Council, ensuring that, because here too we are talking about quality assurance must be applied. So the General Legal Council must also get involved in some of these matters and find a solution to the problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My second question. Judges are seen not to have a social life because of the kind of work you do, pressure on you to read cases and run around. How do you balance your social life with your career? Thank you.
Thank you. The life of a judge is something which unless you have come into a fold, you will, because the steps that you take wherever you go and the things that you do, you are in the public eye. So when we are also talking about trust in the system, you the judge, you must behave yourself such that people will have confidence in the courts that they are coming for justice. It's not only that the justice must be served, but they must be seen that justice is being done. So for example, if I'm a judge and I move my car and go around, taking on board all manner of people as my friends, it leaves room for suspicion and the rest of it. So sometimes you have to isolate yourself. Me, for example, I pick and choose my friends. And if I haven't traveled out of town, Sunday, I will make sure that I go to church. So my work and church. I believe yesterday, the last nominee said something which we were all amazed that because of his work, his marriage has to suffer. That is a kind of reality. So, and the point is that even if you see a friend, a lawyer, you can't even go and shake hands with him because people will say that he is a friend to the lawyer. So that is the situation we find ourselves. But you see, that is the job we have sworn to do. So we will manage it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No further questions. Congratulations once again. All the best.
Thank you very much. Then I will give the floor to Honorable Yawoma.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, my Lord.
Thank you.
Chairman, full disclosure, my Lord has been a very good friend of mine for many years. And I'm happy to see you go up as the Justice of the Supreme Court. Even if you are going to spend a year there, we know what you are going to send up there. I wish you well.
Thank you.
My Lord, first time I appeared before you was about 14 years ago.
Oh, that's so.
I remember Republic versus Oseje, Antonia Kuto Osei, Jambafo, also Professor Jambafo. And the former Attorney General was for Oseje. Brilliant submission of no case, which you upheld. A 90-page submission of no case, which you upheld. And Oseje got out of the woods. I've read recently some decisions of yours, the Mewu matter, the Atufosi matter, that I know you to be a very bold judge, regardless of who is before you.
Thank you.
And that is commendable.
Thank you for the observation.
That's very commendable. what gives you that weight and motivation? Because the kind of cases that I've read you handle and taking those bold decisions are very political in nature. The stakes were very high. I would have wished my colleague Bafford to have been around, since he said most of your cases are overturned on appeal at the Supreme Court. Some of these cases that you also overturned came from the High Court. So I would want to hear your views on some of them. The Amewu matter, the Oseje, Jambafo, Atufosin and Co. So those are matters that you've determined already, so you can give us an overview. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. In the Amewu case, is it what? Amewu?
Amewu, John Peter Amewu.
John Peter Amewu. That case is still sub judice. What came before us was for an application, interlocutory, for an application for interlocutory injunction. So the case itself is pending for hearing. The appeal itself is pending for hearing. So it will be unethical for me to say something about it. Thank you. In the case of OCIJ,
do you still remember the facts? Talk about some rice importation from India.
From India, I do to some extent, but it's, as you rightly said, it's a long time ago. So what I would say is that in that particular case, or generally, my position has always been that as soon as I hand over my judgment, I don't think about them again. Because if you are dissatisfied with it, you have the opportunity to go out. So it will be very difficult on my part to discuss it now. Unless, so please, let's.
Malad, I'll step it down and ask you if you still have some good friends at the bar, because when you are at the Financial Court 1, anytime a case is brought to you and the lawyers discuss, they say, you're going to Justice Bright Mensah's court. On 3. Even if he's dismissing your application, he'll even put a smile on his face. He will just ask you to go out. Lord, all I want to entreat you and beg of you is to keep being yourself.
Thank you.
Keep being a firm judge.
Thank you.
And I wish you the very best. Thank you.
But you see, Chairman, please, my court is a very friendly court. Very, very friendly. If sometimes, thank you for the comments.
Yes, I'll give the floor to Honorable Haji Aladi Ayamba.
Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations, my brother.
Thank you.
So hard, riding through those ranks.
Thank you.
I think this is something that needs to be discussed with those up and coming. Some people think you must just get up and get to the topmost level, but here you are. Looking at where you came from and the issues that we have at hand, especially on the ground, when you go to our villages, for that matter, our districts, what is your suggestion about facts that we don't have, for lack of a better word, let me say, lawyers around, where maybe in Pusiga, you have a case, you even need somebody, you may have to be calling Accra. We don't have the judges. Sometimes one judge is handling so many districts, or there may be only 2 judges in one region, and they continue shuffling, going up and down. What is your suggestion? What will you bring up to encourage whether those who are more really trained professionals so that they will take up places that are deprived, or judges to accept postings to such places?
Thank you, Chair. I think the solution to the problem is that the conditions of service, particularly at the lower court, must be attractive to lawyers to start from the lowest bench. Quite often, lawyers who want to join the bench will want to join it from the superior court. But when we talk about the work of the courts, it's those down there who normally do the bulk of the court. Indeed, when we are talking about access to justice and quality justice for that matter, it starts from down there. So therefore, to attract lawyers to start from the lower ebb of the ladder, then it means that the condition of service must be very, very attractive. I myself, when I started, I was also saddened with going to other courts. It was because there were no lawyers available to be engaged. Not that they are not available, but they didn't find our conditions of service attractive to come to start from the lower. So the solution to the problem is that the conditions of service of the judges, particularly at the lower bench, must be attractive for the lawyers to start from there. I believe that if the conditions of service are attractive, many lawyers will join the bench. Thank you.
Chairman, my second question. Cases take so long in courts, whether rural, urban, whatsoever. Some even eventually they die and the cases are not ended. They are not determined. Thank you for giving me the correct word. Are not determined. What is your suggestion to ensure that at least we make sure these cases are determined very fast so that we don't have so much at hand?
Thank you, Chair. There are so many factors that come into play when cases delay in court. I will not go into that because I'm being called upon to offer an advice or suggestion as to how they may be addressed. The first is that the judicial service must get their system digitalized, because now the modern trends are that if we were to digitalize our systems, cases filed will be filed electronically. When they are filed electronically, the belief that we'll have to effect service, we'll also do it, the proof of service, if it is served, you will issue proof of service and then it will be uploaded into the system. So we will not get a situation where a bailiff, though has served a process, will not prove service. Once proof of service is not on the docket, though the process has been served, the judge cannot go on with the case, and that will mean that the case must suffer an adjournment. When we also talk about e-justice system, we are also talking about virtual court. In other jurisdictions, even in Africa here, Tanzania and Kenya have invested so much in the judicial system such that once the cases are filed electronically and the submission of cases are generated electronically, so the Chief Justice will not even have the power or has no control over who should sit on a particular case or the other. Which means that as soon as the processes are served and everything is in place. A judge who has traveled to his hometown, maybe I might have traveled to Amasma, and if a case is put before me, I will not have excuse to say that I'm not in Accra, so I can't do the case. It's virtual court, and sometimes you can also use Zoom to do those cases. If we were able to do that, I think it would be a leap forward, so that cases will be tried as expeditiously as possible. But if we feel that we must remain where we are, we won't get far. So that is the solution I would prefer to the problem on hand. Thank you.
Chairman.